Happy Monday, everyone. Just a few comments from the assignments that were due this past week. So, as some of you guys have noticed, I start grading a bit early. So on the Wednesday, started grading before, the due date. Just because if I wait, I have so many students in online courses that I do not wait till the last minute to grade because it can be overwhelming. Two things there. One, if you submit things via Blackboard prior to when things are due, you're most likely going to get some comments from me, and you could use those comments to theoretically resubmit. I would also like to say that in general, maybe that would be, I think the hardest thing with online classes for students is that procrastination. And something I want to talk about with the emergency management profession exercise that we did, that especially with the part that was due on Sunday. So more on that in a second. But first, you had your first chapter takeaway assignment due this week. Again, those are 3 points apiece. And I know that might be different in a lot of other assignments that I ask you to do, and it's kind of more in line with the reading journal that I'll have you do. And what I mean by that is, so some of you got kind of this message essentially. I don't want a summary of the text. I don't want bullet points or summaries of this and that, and I don't want direct quotes. Everything that you give me, you should mention something from the text, yeah, that sparked your interest, but the information should then tie to something, and then tell me what you think about it. How does it tie? What does it make you think about? Those types of things. I don't want summaries of the text or even these outside sources. I want the connections. You should be using the word I. You should be giving me your thoughts and opinions. This isn't a place that I want scholarly writing or sources to be cited other than the ones that you will need. You should have those 3 citations. You should have the text, and you should have 2 outside sources. You should also probably break this up into 2 paragraphs for your 2 different ideas, your 2 ties. And then have appropriate in-text citations and then sources. But within the middle of that, you're telling me what you think is interesting about this, the connection, what's in the text, and then what you found. Hopefully this won't be a completely boring exercise. And again, it is the substitution for giving you guys quizzes on the text, that kind of thing. So hopefully, you guys will get more out of it. So we shall see. But again, the sooner you post, probably the more comments you get. So let me know if you have questions on that. Now onward to the job posting exercise. So first of all, the first part of this was worth 3 points. It's essentially 3 points or no points. And you basically needed to post something in a PDF, again, not a link, because I can't access the link sometimes that you copy and paste there, but you needed to put a PDF there. It needed to be currently being recruited for, so I needed some sort of date or entity. The 2 individuals couldn't have the same posting, and you could not use the USA jobs. So I think a few of you did each one of those, so you could have lost points there. Now, as far as the information that was due yesterday, so you guys, in general, I think a lot more could be done here, and for an assignment that's worth 8 points, which is almost 10% of your grade, I needed a lot more effort. You guys essentially had over 30 jobs to look at, and things that should have been commented on in separate paragraphs, perhaps, just to make it more readable. Should have commented on education, experience, certifications, salaries. I don't know that maybe 1 or 2 of you commented on the certifications that you need, which was a nice segue into why I have you do the FEMA exercises in this class. So there was a lot more to comment on, and I think I warned you guys about the fact of, like, just because you look at what your classmates did to try to gauge what you should do, I know that it seems like, oh, okay, well, this is what they did, so I only have to do about that much, or the last 10 people that have posted have only done about this, but this is not the case in my courses. So as far as the expectation was to comment on a multitude of things. If I give you 30 job postings, well, your classmates, to look over, and okay, so here are just some examples. This person received a 4 out of 5. They did, in fact, separate their ideas. They talked about kind of education here, more of different types of job experiences here, almost like, experience or job requirements. Then went on to answer the last 2 kind of questions I had in the post. So then I also give examples here. This person received a 3 out of 4. 2.5 out of 5. Oh, sorry. This was 3 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5, 1.5 out of 5, and a 1 out of 5. And you guys, again, here, like this was worth, 8 points. You needed to get, and I was asking you to review 30 job postings. So in total, I just needed a lot more from this exercise. And again, here are the examples. Feel free to pause the video and look over what people wrote and the grades that they got. In terms of final comments, as you can see from, how I graded the KWL chart last week and the job posting this week, and I think as I mentioned in the introduction video, you guys need to put a lot of effort into my classes to do well. And this exercise was hopefully one that would be interesting to you and that you'd want to put more effort into because it's applicable. That's not kind of the feedback I got from the actual assignments. So, but in closing, if you guys haven't done a fantastic job up until this point, I care less about the actual grade and more about improvement. So if going forward, you now understand the expectation in this class, and the expectation that you guys should hold yourself to and knock it out of the park going forward, that I care more about what you do the last 80% of the class than I do the first 20% of the class. So I know when you have 5 classes, in your beginning school, you're trying to figure out what classes you have to put in the effort for, which are the easier grades. This is not going to be one of the easier ones. So if you now understand that and put in the effort, that will pay off. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.